TV's on cooldown.
Yeah, me too. They're gonna
Radiant structures are fortified.
Who? Did you waste glyph?
No.
Oh god. Oh god, they're in the pubs. They're in the pubs!
Oh, glorious glyph god! Over 200 souls have been sacrificed to you today alone. Soon, you will be real, and you will fuse yourself in all of your followers with your fortification glory. We will be invincible, except for Moran Arrow, and that weird Clink spell, and Night Stalker Shard, and Midas the Devour. Seize him!
One man will find the truth.
You're getting close to solving the glyph. Check the combat log.
I need to know. The world needs to know.
Who pressed glyph? Coming to a post-game chat near you.
Coming to a post-game near you. Did you enjoy making that one, Jenkins?
How could you have kept that a secret from... I was losing my mind.
Well, look, I know we've worked 11 days pretty much straight together, but sometimes you need your own secrets.
Why would you waste glyph? Why? We lost that pub. I doubled down.
That's why. That is exactly why. We've always talked about this inflated MMR going around, and Jenkins, it's just not deserved. Traumatized.
I'm good. I'm fine.
Look, it was a very beautiful content piece, though. I know a lot of you guys were working hard in the back ends. I mean, maybe a fun little mini game everyone can do is count how many special appearances were in that one content piece alone. We had a lot of the talent lineup getting in on this, and I know Slacks and Tsunami worked really hard behind the scenes as well for it. Did you enjoy it, Fia? As like maybe the only person who wasn't in it?
You don't know that.
Oh, that's true. I don't know that, actually.
Don't make assumptions there. I was in the darkness.
Yeah, you were
was the glyph.
He was the glyph.
He tried to lose TI5. He was glyphing all the time.
Yeah.
He's president on cooldown.
Was it TI5 you won? I can't remember.
I don't remember
That was so long
ago. It was
ago.
like at least 15 years ago.
At least, minimum.
Yeah. That was really great, though. I enjoyed that. That was really fun.
Yeah. Something that I haven't yet mentioned, and maybe people at home are looking at, is why exactly you're on the panel right now, Sin? Because we've had...
I was wondering the same.
Oh, whoa, okay. Apparently my panel members are also wondering. Well, I mean, it's a TI for you in your home country. I mean, how special does that feel to have so many of your countrymen in the crowd right now?
That's awesome. I didn't, how to say, this is something that I didn't think would ever happen. I think it was the same thing that Crit was saying in an interview some days ago, that it just, you know, I remember we were at a different event, and we were out having dinner, and I just checked my phone randomly, and there's like, TI's in Copenhagen. Like, okay. You know,
whoa.
just out of nowhere. There was no clues or anything. It just came as a complete surprise, and I was just blown away, and I was super excited, of course.
Yeah.
And I feel like the arena and the fans have been awesome. I feel like the set design has been great. So I've been really happy with it.
Oh, well, that's good. And you've seen a lot of TIs for yourself.
Oh,
You've seen many. In fact, Synderen is someone that's been around for a very long time. So we've got another special content piece for you guys right now.
The legacy of the International spans the course of nearly 15 years. But some would say, as much as it is a legacy of Dota, it is a legacy of the Danes. And now, at the International 2024, in the heart of Copenhagen, we will tell the tale of the greatest of them all. The most decorated and celebrated Danish Dota player of all time, and the only person to have attended every single international, Synderen.
I've been playing Dota my entire life. It was very challenging a lot of the time. There were some serious downs, but there were also some big ups. I have overall a lot of great memories from all the years of playing this game, even right from the beginning. I started playing Dota when I was just a kid.
I have a lot of very fond memories of playing in the biggest Danish LAN cafe at the time, Cybermøllen. So back then, I used to be one of the best Danish Dota players in the world. Guys like Crit and Ace, they didn't really stand a chance against me. Yeah, they were 8 at the time, but I think mainly they were lacking the upper body strength to make it in Danish Dota. I won't lie, it definitely wasn't easy. There were a lot of splinters, you know, but even when things got really hard, I knew I could always count on my family. My mother, she was my biggest supporter and my biggest fan through all of it.
Troels var altid den svageste af mine 7 sønner. De andre børn tog sig af afgrøderne i marken og hjalp med at slagte kvæg. Vi spurgte os selv, hvor er svæklæggen? Hvor er han, når det er tid til at så kornet? Men han var der aldrig. Han gav altid nogle åndssvage undskyldninger, såsom, men mor, jeg er allerede god til at farme. Jeg har lige fundet ud af, hvordan man kan få 200 GPM på Alchemist. Så sagde vi, at han skulle stoppe med det vrøvl, og at alkemisten ikke er i byen under høstsæsonen. På et tidspunkt blev han så sur, at han løb væk hjemmefra. Vi troede, vi havde mistet ham for evigt, men nogle måneder senere, så var han der pludselig. Han havde åbenbart spillet et eller andet computerspil dernede i månedsvis. Han kom ud af kælderen som en lille trold, kravlede ud af sin hule, når det er tid til at gå på jagt. Så besluttede vi os endelig for at give ham sit navn. Troels. Også fordi han lugter en lort. Shit.
My dad was a farmer, so he didn't really approve of me playing video games very much, but once I started making money with it, then he came around.
What money? He never made any money.
There's always kæft!
He could have done something good with his life. He could have saved the planet. For helvede. The ice is melting at the poles.
20 years, it's been a long time. I remember TI1 going with friends. It didn't go so well. We got 16th, but then came TI2. I went with a new team, and we also got 16th there, so that didn't really work out either. But then finally, TI3, I really had the team that I was hoping for, and we got 16th. And then there was TI6.
These are our family goats. That one is Sumail. That one is Miracle. And that one is Arteezy. You can tell by the big balls.
Those two were huge, my parents. But I didn't only have that family. I also had a second family in Dota, my teammates.
Teammates. This farm could use some teammates.
Some of my close friends from those teams back then would go on to do great things. I took them under my wing, I taught them everything I knew, and now they're here still playing at this TI. And you know, it's a real source of pride for me.
Who? Synderen? You were on a team with him.
Doesn't really ring any bells.
Eventually my time as a pro, it came to an end, but I still absolutely love Dota, so I wanted to continue working with it. So I got into talent work, and honestly, I've never looked back.
Is Synderen over being a pro player? Man, I mean, he's a good friend of mine. We cast a lot together, but definitely not over. I mean, anytime we would cast a former teammate of his, whether it's like Yapsor or Seb, he would just cry his eyes out. I feel like you do need to get over this stuff eventually, though. I mean, myself being a former Counter-Strike pro player.
For most of my life, I have dedicated myself to Dota, and now this year, we get to have TI in my home country, which is super special to me. So I can't put into words how much that means. It's been an honor to be a part of this community for all these years, and yeah, I just want to say thank you guys for for watching and letting me be a part of it for all this time.
Oh, a massive round of applause, not only for a spectacular content piece, but the acting, Synderen. I didn't know you were secretly taking acting classes between being talent as well.
It's easy to act out your parents, you know?
Is it, yeah?
You've
Your
seen
whole
it your
life?
entire life. It was very accurate. Is actually also what my mom looks like.
Oh, really? I could see the genetics are strong in the Danes then. Did you enjoy that one as well, Jenkins?
Yeah, that was good. I thought that was your parents.
Oh.
Your mom has a hairy chest. I gotta say, I don't know what that's about. That was quite something.
I know someone had a worse setup than me growing up, so impressed by that.
You didn't think it was possible, but it really was out there. Sin, look, it's been an absolute pleasure for you, I'm sure, to be in front of your crowd here, but also for all of us getting to work with you. And so we have something a little bit extra when it comes to content just for you.
Hello, Sent. All jokes aside, I'm very happy you're still sticking around and helping our Dota community and hopefully having a good time.
I remember watching the Wild Honey Badgers at DreamHack 2011, DreamHack Winter, and I remember seeing your Night Stalker there, and that's part of the reason what made me fall in love with esports as a whole.
From the first moment I saw you play, I knew you'd make an excellent caster. It's been a pleasure to work so many TIs alongside you, and I'm looking forward to hopefully many more years at the International, getting to spend time and enjoy your witty and humorous and very intelligent casting.
Big fan, Synderen. I always tell you this, but I mean it unironically. Before I worked as a talent, you were my favorite caster by far.
Known you for over 10 years. We've played together, we've worked together. We have probably like a 10% win rate in competitive games together, which is pretty sad, but you know what? Working with you has always been a pleasure, and I look forward to being able to do that always, man. Love you.
Congratulations, Synderen, on an amazing career so far. I wouldn't be here without you. I am glad and very privileged to call you one of my best friends, so thanks, buddy.
Aww. A nice little trip down memory. I can't look at Sin, I'm so emotional right now, but you get to add a TI in your home country to memories too. I'm actually tearing up. Yeah, someone else is going to have to take hosting duties now.
Take it from here.
Yeah, super.
Oh, sure. I mean, I have memories of Synderen. I remember all your dream hacks.
I will say, I also have a 10% win rate with you. It's not good. I enjoy every moment of it, though.
I think I have a 100% win rate against you.
Oh, I thought you were going to say with. I was excited for a moment. Oh, no.
Well, I have 100% enjoyment in listening to you cast it.
Yes!
So, yeah, let's go. And I'm sure everyone
one.
out there in the arena has also really enjoyed it as well. But look, I'll give you guys some final words because we do have to keep this show going. There's still a lot more content between now and the grand finals, but it is going to be the last of us for a very short time. So starting down the line, Jenkins, if you want to give some thoughts going into maybe the grand final or even just about the content we got to watch.
Sure. Well, I'm excited to see Game and Liquid, unironically, as Mira said. Love this game, love this community, love the crowd. It's been amazing. The energy has been fucking phenomenal. I'm glad we got to see 3 games, and I hope we get to see 5 more.
Yeah, you might have dropped the F-bomb a little early because I actually just heard Slacks has got a little extra content for us. So yeah, we're going to have to go down there and then come back.
Yes, thank you very much. We are outside right now. It's my first time being outside in months. It's horrible out here. Can't wait to go back inside with some also outside friends. What are you doing out here?
Stretching my legs. We're sitting in the front, so we're dying.
Oh, yeah. You guys get the full experience. Can you hear anything?
I can hear everything.
Okay, great. Fantastic. Well, great. So, favorite part of the event so far?
Favorite part? The games, obviously, and the Crimson Treasures are very good.
Sure, the Crimsons? Those at home, so sorry. How many Crimsons we got so far?
3.
3? We have 0, you son of...
No.
Why not?
I don't know, they're on hold.
Okay, don't tell about your economic policies here, all right? Just open them, right? That's the best thing you can do. How you doing? Who do you think's gonna win?
Oh, I want Liquid to win.
Liquid?
I want Liquid.
Oh, okay.
Liquid Tundra.
Liquid Tundra, that's quite a dream here. GG, you don't want to see the G... How about you, GG Liquid Finals?
Liquid Tundra.
Okay, come on. All right. Is it all about the Thompson? Is that what we're after?
We're getting Thompson.
The 3 times?
3 times Thompson, yeah.
Oh my God. What are you excited about?
I'm excited about all the game.
Oh, yes. You think Thompson's going to do the 3-0?
I hope Liquid wins.
Liquid! There we go. Fine. Different opinion. These guys are just, bat-chesting over here. We got a real Dota fan here. Who's your favorite hero?
Lone Druids.
it. Can you tell me why? I'll just give you the mic. You're too tall for me to put my hand around.
I mean, I like Lundred because he has a strong bond to the companion, like I have to my companion. Oh. So I'm gonna show you my true form now, and I want to ask you to marry me.
Gotta get that happy audio. Oh my goodness, well you guys have a wonderful moment. Congratulations. Oh, kissing, take it easy. There's a family product here. But congratulations, hope you enjoy. Oh, okay, sure. Oh, sweetie. You guys are gonna have the best life together. You guys have your moment. We love you. We'll come back to you. Congratulations, thank you. Woo, give it up one more time. Woo.
Dota players stay winning is what I will say there. There's going to be one team walking away with an Aegis, but that one couple right there walking away having a fantastic memory here of her saying yes at TI 13 in Copenhagen.
We'll be having a podium finish too.
They will be having That is such a fair one-liner right there. All right, now I'm not getting ahead of myself, Jake, because you've already said your final words for this. I'll go to Fear, then I'll go to Sin, and then we've got some more things coming up. So Fear, some of the final words for you before we do get some more content.
Yeah, I mean, this international has been absolutely amazing. The crowd, as usual, has been on fire. So I've been really blessed to be able to be part of every single international so far in one way or another. As a player, as a coach, as a spectator, I've pretty much done it all. So like every single time it gets more and more special for me, and I absolutely love this event.
Yeah. And then of course yourself, Sin.
I just want to say, be as loud as you guys possibly can for the entirety of the grand finals. Let's make this an incredible atmosphere for the players. It's a huge moment for them. It's a huge moment for you guys. So bring everything you can to the final hours that are coming up soon.
Yes, I love it. They're already cheering down there. You guys are going to have to keep cheering. Maybe try and save a little bit of your voice for that grand finals, but I know there's going to be a lot of round of applause as we head on down to the stage and begin our cosplay competition.
That's right, it's time for another time-honored tradition here at the International. Welcome everyone to the International 2024 Cosplay Contest, sponsored by SteelSeries, because we have got a lot of contestants and a lot of amazing art to show. And it was art that I thankfully got some feedback from thanks to our judges. Could we start out with you, Snapfire? I love the look. Could you introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Margito. I'm a Swedish cosplayer. I've been cosplaying for 18 years, hence the granny look today. Yeah, I'm really excited to be here and have this event finally in Scandinavia.
Right on, with age comes a wisdom then. And Marcy, how about you? You mind introducing yourself?
Hello everyone, I am Maruna. I've been cosplaying from Dota for 10 years. However, this is only my second TI, so I'm super excited to be here.
Amazing stuff, and last but not least, Ember Spirit, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Reeks. As a cosplayer, I go as BFG Naked, but Reeks is fine for now. I don't really have a lot to add to my fellow judges, so let's just get the show going.
Without further ado, let's do it then. Shall we start going through each of our contestants? We had many submissions, but we narrowed it down to just 10. So, starting off the thing, let's take it off with Scouse and Spouse, not as Crystal Maiden, but as Crystal Mate.
All right, exactly. All right, exactly. As you can see, this is the Crystal Mate. He's from Down Under, and as you can see, he's sporting a great utility belt with all the important items that he needs to keep the team going.
That's a second persona if I've ever seen one. Next up, let's get Mozart in Tidehunter.
So the thing that's special about this cosplay, you all know it, you've all seen it all weekend. Give it up for him. He made this together with his mom, who knows nothing about Dota, who knows nothing about cosplay. I hope she's watching. Hi, Mom. Great job.
She knows about art, though, clearly. And after that, we've got catastrophic cosplays with the Monkey King.
An important skill in cosplay is to figure out what materials to use and what works for what. And in this case, the case of the Monkey King of Catastrophic, well, her tail, can you guess it? It's a pool noodle.
Look at that flexibility on that, the creativity. That's what's needed when playing Monkey King and when cosplaying Monkey King. Next up, we got Pei on Marcy.
All right, so this is actually the cosplayer's favorite hero, and she actually does boxing for in real life.
Yeah, those animations come from her, not from the game. Following that, we've got Tanakt on a Juggernaut.
This cosplayer made his own muscle suit for this. Making a muscle suit is a difficult process. It starts by wrapping yourself in tape entirely and ends by covering things in latex.
I love the Arcana there. After that, we've got Chiyu Neko as Dogbreaker.
We have something special here that is an NA representative. And bringing that costume all the way over here is not easy. So that hammer can actually fall apart in several pieces. However, that's where the convenience ends. It's damned heavy. I tried.
That's the kind of strength you need. Next up, Braun Baron as Dark Willow.
This is the cosplayer's favorite hero as well, and she's been playing 1,700 games as this hero. And just look at those beautiful wings and the light that comes through them.
You need that kind of experience to pull off a cosplay like that. Next up, Peachy X Bell as Enchantress.
This Enchantress's rear end is made from PVC pipes and insulation foam, and the back legs move as well, which is done by a smart construction with fishing line.
Look at the elaborate nature of it. The legs are hanging on. It looks amazing. Next up, Marzaus as Invoker.
Good things sometimes take time. Have your moment. Give it up.
He's invoking right now.
I really hope these lights show up on camera in the stage lights. But good things take a while, so he's been on this for 5 years because finally finishing it took a TI that actually happened in Europe.
This is the Magnus Apex right there. And last, but certainly not least, we've got Vicky Kujikawa as a Vengeful Spirit.
This cosplayer has fully articulated wings, and as you can see, she has the bird claws that stands to create the bird-like features of the character. And also look at all the different iridescent colors of the costume. She had so many different colors to get it all together.
And this Arcana just came out and she put this together. What an incredible showcase that we have. But now we've shown you the contestants, it's time to hand out some awards. So let's take it from the top. Our first award out of 4 is a Judge's Choice. You mind explaining what Judge's Choice means?
So the Judge's Choice Award is given to a cosplayer who nails both the presence of the hero they are portraying, but also has awesome craftsmanship.
Well, then do you mind telling me who won the Judge's Choice?
Can we get a little drum roll from the audience?
Royal Arena.
The Judge's Choice goes to Tanakt as Juggernaut.
A well-deserved victory and the choice of many carries as well. Next up, we've got Biggest Transformation. What is that involved?
Well, it might surprise some of you, but cosplayers are actual, real, living, breathing people.
What?
Yeah, it's quite different from video game. So to translate the one thing into another is not always easy. We deal with different challenges than, game designers. And yeah, doing that is a real skill, and it gets an award here.
Turning 3D into a cosplay. Royal Arena. Could we get another drum roll for Biggest Transformation?
The winner is Peachy X Bell, Enchantress.
Amazing work. I thought for sure she had 4 legs. Next up, Best Technique.
Okay, so for this award, we have really looked at the craftsmanship of the costume. We had the pre-judging on Thursday. That means that we have looked at all the costumes individually and looked at all the seams and all the props and their foam work and everything. So basically, it's how they tackle the costume and the quality of their work.
The precision, I love to see it. Royal Arena, you know the drill.
All right, so best techniques goes to Vicky Kujikava as Vengeful Spirit.
A well-deserved victory, and I can't imagine the time frame needed to put this together in time for TI. And now it's time for the best in show. This is the champion of the cosplay contest. I don't think it needs any further explanation, but Royal Arena, I want drum roll, I want woos, I want cheers, I want claps.
The winner of the International Cosplay Contest sponsored by SteelSeries is the one, the only, Marsaus as Invoker!
The refresher, the Aegis, this is a Miracles Invoker in the flesh right here in Royal Arena. What a well-deserved victory. But all of the competitors deserve a round of applause. Royal Arena, please show some love to the incredible craftsmanship. Love to see it. And judges, thank you so much for joining me and giving your expertise. But we're not done yet. I know you guys are waiting for grand finals, but there have been other community-oriented things going on. So I'm going to pass it over to Slacks with the short film contest.
That is right, Tsunami. Indeed, indeed. The International is a celebration of the greatest Dota in the world and the best esports players out there. But it's also a celebration of us, the creative noobs out there that are doing some fun things in the community. Your passion, your love for this game, and here is where we celebrate it. So that is why I am so honored to go through our short film contest winners this year. But before we go to those top three, I did want to say thank you for everyone who's put in time, effort, and energy, passion, and love into this game and into this contest. Please, a round of applause for them. Quite a long one indeed, because they deserve it. All right, everybody out there, it's about time that we get down to it. So, in third place this year of our short film contest, I know if you're like me, you have no idea how Invoker works. So, luckily for us, we have a little bit of a video that will show you how it feels to play Invoker with the Sphere Master. Absolutely violent and disgusting. I love it. Thank you very much. Well, if you are anything like me, of course, you do know what it's like to play support, my friends. Always helping those carries, those offlaners, those pause fours that are also pretending that they're supports. What can you do? But this video will help you realize what it's like to be a support and how it feels to finally get your hands on that hoodwink. This one is called Support. watching Hoodwinks die. Wonderful, wonderful indeed. But the time now has come for us to find out who won first place at this year's short film contest. Let's take a peek. Our first place winner. Yeah, makes sense. You ever wonder what it's like to be Tinker? Hey, you guys ever got bloodlust and you just keep chasing someone and you just want to take them out at any cost? Well, this video is just about that. Happens to the best of us. Thank you so much and congratulations to our winners out there. Incredible, incredible submissions here this year. But you know, on the topic of videos, it wouldn't really feel like a TI unless we had a little video that we wanted to share with you ourselves. That's right, my friends. So don't go anywhere and let's take a look.
Long have we waited, and Bird Samurai is finally activated. Kaz is coming with Crownfall Act 4 after TI, but I need a quick recap. So I found a Crownfall expert, would you say, or no?
Just a casual player.
Okay. Give me a quick recap. How have we ended up here? Who is this dude?
He's the revolution that is gonna help the queen, the righteous queen.
Well, it sounds like you're taking sides now.
I don't know. Killing your sister is pretty bad.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah. Okay, the quick recap. So basically, Skyrat tried to make Vengeful Spirit to live again.
Okay.
Then they found the goddess Skriak, which gave them their powers. So they are trying to move around different places to find allies in order to fight a war.
And that's where she comes in, right? Crystal Maiden. Tell me, I'm assuming your favorite hero is Crystal Maiden.
Well, you're right.
Okay. And when's the last time that you dipped your ideas out of going Crystal Maiden? Would you be down to explore, I don't know, maybe he's a hero, maybe he's a carry, maybe he's an offlane, who knows? What are you hoping for?
Oh, definitely. I would be open to try out something new. Definitely Cass.
Would you cosplay it ever?
Oh, I think that would be a very interesting cosplay, to be honest. But definitely better than my sister, Lena.
See, there we go. I see a lot of sister tensions are a common theme in Crownfall. And I am very, very curious. It'll be coming out after TI, Crownfall Act 4. Everyone has been eagerly awaiting. I know Bird Samurai has been rumored for ages. It's finally happening. I can't wait for it. And I was wondering, maybe even people raising their hands. Slacks, what are you doing here?
Hi, I'm also here to talk about the lore. I'm very excited about the hero. Hello. You been playing Crownfall?
No.
You been playing Dota?
Yes, of course.
Would you play a hero that is a samurai as skilled as Juggernaut?
It depends. I only play support.
You are the worst interview. Are you at least excited about the new hero?
Of course!
There
That's
we
what I
go.
like to hear!
He
most
volunteered
of
for
all,
that. He wanted to do that. Go.
Most of all, Royal Arena, are you excited for Grand Finals? Then let's get into it.
Challenges the expectations of greatness, daring the finest Dota teams in the world to rise always higher and earn a place beyond the very best. It reveals new arenas for artistry, demanding the skills, the sacrifice, the imagination to transcend mere excellence. It grants a life everlasting, promising a page in the chronicles of history that time cannot erase. 16 teams began this quest in Copenhagen. Now, only 2 contenders remain. They meet at the precipice, with the fate of the Aegis at last in play. One team must fall, their dreams of triumph broken, to watch the other rise into a hallowed pantheon of honor and fame. This is the final proving ground. This is the Grand Colosseum, where legends forge undying names. 2 teams compete here for ultimate glory. Only one can seize immortality. Who will emerge victorious? The battle begins.
Welcome to the Grand Finals of the International 2024, and we have got 2 top-tier teams that are going to battle it out in a best-of-5. So much to talk about, so much history with these 2 players as well. Although I do know it might get a little sidetracked potentially if people want to mention Kiss. That's okay. Hopefully, though, we'll get to play him soon enough, so all the speculations, we'll save them maybe for a little bit. There's so much to talk about. TGov, Team Liquid, Gaming Gladiators, back at it again.
I mean, the entire couple of days that we've had teams chanting for Team Liquid. We've seen gaming as well. I think we've had maybe the loudest teams have got to the Grand Finals. So I'm hoping the arena also is very loud during the Grand Finals. But I know this is everything we wait for. Every year, this is the tournament, the aura, everything. Like, you cannot match what TI brings. So come on, please, 5 games. All I ask for, please, 5 games.
I say this every day, Shiver. I say every game will go all the way, but I really do believe at this time, we've been here time and time again with these 2 teams, that we've never had the stakes be this high for the International. We've had them play in 5 Grand Finals total. This time around, TI, they haven't played a TI Grand Finals yet, so this is the culmination of their rivalry. You know, you can throw all the other wins down the drain if Liquid managed to beat Game in here.
I did not know this TI was going to be so emotional. First we see the Synderen's content piece. I start crying, he starts crying. Everybody in the green room starts crying. Then we see a proposal again. Then we see a new hero. I came here to watch some good Dota, and we've seen some really good Dota so far.
We have seen some fantastic Dota, and we're gonna break everything down for you so you know what to expect, and maybe you don't normally watch too much Dota 2. We got you covered as well, and we'll tell you exactly why this Grand Finals is as important and as high stakes as it is. We're gonna focus our attention first on Team Liquid. They are the team coming in through the upper bracket, and they did so by beating Gaming Gladiators just yesterday, and that was a 2-0. So if we look at this bracket, Team Liquid, they made a strong run, Lacoste, through this upper bracket.
Didn't drop a single game in the upper bracket. Also, Boxy in an interview yesterday talked about them starting the Grand Finals coming from the upper bracket, which means that Team Liquid doesn't necessarily need to play 8 games potentially, so they're going to be fresh, they're going to be rested. Gaming Gladiators, they showed what they're capable of in the bottom part of the bracket, played 3 games, and this time around, Team Liquid, they could chill and they could watch and they could prep for it.
They could, and they are no strangers to playing on the final day of an international TGov. For Team Liquid, their best performance at an international so far, 2022, for all 5 of them.
Yeah, no, they've had an incredible run, and it's like after that, it's been multiple Grand Finals where they're trying to get there, and you know, like I feel like at this point, this team should have won something by now. That's like the hardships for this team. Like they've had incredible journeys. Of course, 33 winning that with Tundra Esports, Liquid getting 3rd with that beautiful story of Matuma Man, and now this time, you know, fast forward a couple years, they're now in the Grand Finals with the chance to lift the ages. It's like the perfect story for them.
The perfect story for them. Will this be a perfect storm of an upper bracket run and a Grand Finals against their ultimate nemesis? We'll have to wait and see. I think the story for Team Liquid, if we just look at those 5 players, is amazing. But Lacoste, if we look at 3 of their players in particular, maybe it's even more amazing. With Mickey, Insania, and Boxy, the trio that has withstood everything.
Yeah, these guys have been playing together for so long. They've been playing a different game as well. They go back to Han, rest in peace, but some of these stats are pretty insane. The total number of games, almost 1,400 games. Their win percentage, 56%. Total games for Mind Control, Kuroki, and GH, so they beat some of these big fellas, some of the big names in Dota scene.
Yeah, and the fact that between 1st and 2nd place, like Insania, Boxy, and Mickey have like over 200 games over the likes of Mind Control, Kuroki, and GH. Like, there is no one even getting close to them, because when you look down the order, it's a lot of, you know, history and legacy between, you know, the Liquid Enigma era, and then on top of that, it's like before then, it's like Bulldog, Loader as well. Like the fact that there is not a group of 3 players in modern Dota even close to these guys is just incredible.
And you have to commend them on staying together for that long, because when you're playing in a competitive space for that amount of time, you will often hear a lot of criticism internally and externally, and it's very easy to point fingers when things go wrong and try to fix the problem through maybe switching in somebody. To be able to withstand in Dota for this long, almost unheard of. And it really shows in the way that they play together, the trust that they have, the way the friendship kind of shines through in their interviews and the content that they make.
Very true. We do have to mention also on the side of Gaming Gladiator, Effie, we got, of course, Tofu and Ace.
We do. Tofu and Ace have played together for a very long time. They used to always duo queue together as well. They haven't been doing that much lately, but they also partake in traveling together. They're also friends, the way that Liquid are friends. But actually, I know that you, T, coached them on the first team ever that assembled the Tofu and Ace duo.
Shout out to Misery, yeah, so basically Misery captaining me, coach. You know, we had to look through the pubs, we had to find some players, and when we found Tofu, and then there was Ace, and then boom, 2021, Hellburst Smashes formed. We got DPC Division 2, promoted Division 1. But like, as soon as we saw these 2 players playing together, of course, Ace has an incredible history. It was like, they were meant to be together. And just the way that they communicated, they were always playing together. It's like, you knew they were destined to be here at the main stage. And what, again, 3 years since Hellburst Smashes, they're here at the main stage. So an incredible story between the 2 of them.
And on the topic of main stage destiny, this TI is in Copenhagen, Denmark. And we have to talk about Ace. He is the Danish hometown hero. He is here representing the crowd in Copenhagen. So it's going to be very high pressure for him, but it's going to be something he's going to remember for his entire life.
It definitely will be. Ace has had a tremendous road here to get to this point. He is, I believe, the oldest offlaners at 30. He has also a lot of TI appearances already, Lacoste. This is a veteran, and he could crown it here with a TI in his hometown.
Yeah, he was a little bit bamboozled, as he said, after that series against Tundra, but this is the guy that specializes in quite a lot of these heroes. We've seen meta changing quite a lot. His Underlord always going to be a fearsome when you play against it. All these zoo heroes pretty much, but he also has some of the other heroes that he's going to bang out. This lone druid that is becoming like the carry of the tournament, but also he can play it from the offlane. He also brought in some new heroes when it comes down to Visage. He's playing Doom. He's playing Centaur for the team. This guy overall, one of the best offlaners. And one thing I want to add, during the last year, he was by far the best offlaner, and he was studied. He was nerfed to the ground and still was able, to reach the highs.
He has been second place last international. That is no small feat for the entire team of Gaming Gladiators, of course. And on the topic of finals, and on the topic of a lot of players staying together for a very long time and having great times together, these 10 players are having great times together as well in Grand Finals, although Gaming has had a little bit more luck in the Grand Finals that they have faced each other in TGov, but a very vast history. As far as two teams going in Grand Finals, it is a new El Clasico for sure.
Yeah, when you think back, it's been 2 years of competitive Dota. These two teams have been on top. Liquid hasn't just... It's like 5 Grand Finals, GG has won all of them pretty much, and yeah, Liquid, they wish to get it. I hope they can't hear me right now because it's kind of awkward whilst they're doing their team huddle. We're reminding them, but it's okay. But yeah, we see the graphic here. 7 Grand Finals in the last 2 years Liquid have been part of. They have faced Gaming 5 times, they lost it. They faced Falcons, they lost it. They've faced Spirit, they've lost it. They have yet to get the Tier 1 victory. But the fact that they've been part of 7 of the last 18 Grand Finals in 2 years is still kind of like a dynasty in itself. But they just haven't got the trophy. They haven't got the Aegis. It's like every time it's so close.
Some copium here. TI 2022. You had the team going through the upper bracket, winning 3-0. TI 2023. Also 3-0 coming from the upper bracket. This year they are coming from the upper bracket. So are we going to have a 3-0 for Team Liquid?
For the fans, I hope it's at least 3-1 to Liquid. Because, not a 3-0. Please, 3-1, 3-2, then we're cooking.
Even if it's 3-0, at least hopefully FE competitive close games, like for example that game 3 we just saw.
I think it will be competitive and close because although Liquid did roll through Gaming yesterday, Gaming are a team that learn very quickly, adapt very quickly, and they're very familiar with their opponents in Team Liquid. So getting stomped by them will just give them even more fuel to perform today. Whereas Liquid are a different kind of beast than we've been used to seeing them all year. It feels like they've peaked at this TI because although they were incredibly dominant last year, it took them a while to get to the form they're in this year because they brought in 33 earlier on in the year. It took a while to gel together, but they've reached that point where every player is finally on the same page.
They are on the same page, and will be on the same stage soon as well. And I do still want to touch upon the attempts at the Aegis that both of these two teams have had so far. The appearances of the international. Oh my gosh, maybe we need to hold that thought. We all know that horn. We all recognize that horn. That means that those players, those 10 players, will be taking the stage. So let's welcome in our first team. Of Coach Blitz. This is a team that has made such a dominant run through this upper bracket, 2-0ing everybody that stood in their way, including the opponent that they are so familiar with by now. Let's welcome on stage, Gaming Gladiators. the job they started last year. They were the team to beat in 2023, and they want to prove that they are on top still here at the International in 2024. 10 players up against each other. There is rivalry, but I know there's also so much love and friendship, and I know they're gonna give it their all on the battlefield. I don't think we're gonna go for any favorites here, especially after what we saw yesterday when both of these teams faced each other. This is a fresh start for both Lacoste. Both teams fresh in the booth, one best of 5, that's all.
That's all it takes. You got here, I'm not gonna say you're gonna forget about how you got here, because there's a lot to learn. If we go back to 2023, the way Gaming played, when they got out of the groups, they were not playing as fast. Suddenly, they are stepping it up. They're turning these games into 20-25-minute games. It's all about the speed. These two teams are super effective at dominating the early stage, turning that early advantage into Roche, into a high ground push.
And that's going to be the question I'm looking at in the grand finals. Both teams have been the quickest so far at the International, the way that they break down their opponents, close out victories, or even build leads where they know they can't come back. Will either team maybe pivot coming into grand finals, go a little bit more defensive, play for a late game, kind of bait their opponent in? Because at the moment, it really is a two clash of equal play styles.
So last year, it felt like GG always had Team Liquid's number because they played very similar playstyles, but a lot of Team Liquid's tempo snowballing started from the lanes and depended on the lanes, whereas GG did something similar, but they crushed lanes too hard, and Liquid were never able to get the upper hand in that sense. This time around, it feels like Team Liquid, while still crushing the lanes, have focused a lot more on their early game map movement, their twin gate rotations, their smokes to mid. They've been looking so sharp and clean, and that's where they've been getting majority of their dominance from, not just their laning stage.
Yeah, we'll see who comes out ahead of laning stages in this upcoming game. I think it's also time to talk about one lane in particular with that in mind. It's a lane that always draws attention. Of course, I'm talking about Quinn versus Nisha in the mid lane. I think Lacoste, this tournament, Nisha has been on fire, one of his best tournaments, if not the best tournament he's ever played.
I think we say that pretty much every single tournament where Nisha participates. If we go back to earlier at the start of the year, he did win that 1v1 tournament at BB Dacha. This guy is just a beast. He has been, I would say, the most stable Dota performer of all time. I don't remember last time Nisha had a bad performance in a game where it really matters. And heroes that he does play, he has a pretty large hero pool, and he's always super active. If you look at the KDA stats, he's always going to be pretty much in top 5. This guy is just a beast.
He really is, and he's incredibly talented because I think out of all of the top performing players at TI, he has the highest performance to pub ratio. He does not need to be pubbing 24/7 to play at the level that he does, and that really is just pure talent. On that topic too, usually at TI, we have a handful of rampages per year. This year, there's only been one rampage, and it's been by Nisha's Puck versus Extreme Gaming 7 days ago. So he has definitely made his mark here already.
Not only that, just like the way in which he's conducting himself in the playoffs. It's like he's got 2 deaths in one game, 3 in another. We are going to see the rampage here. Like it's the clutch, disengage to then find the opportunities, and that is where Liquid is looking so exceptional. They're enabling each other to pop off, and Nisha on the puck. That is a hero that I'm looking for in the grand final. So far, he's 4 for 4 with it, but in the draft, can you really get that ban in play? Can you really ban a puck and feel good about your integrity? And there is a rampage, a rare occurrence at the International, like Effie was mentioning. But yeah, Nisha, he is, insanely good right now.
And in top form, it needs to be said. To be fair, though, both of these teams have been in top form. Otherwise, you do not make it to the International Grand Finals. Another matchup that draws attention from us is that off lane. We have to compare the two off lanes. First of all, we already mentioned Ace, hometown hero, but also one of the players, Tigov, that has the most experience possible in competitive games.
Yeah, so Ace is about to potentially, if this goes to 5 games, he'll hit 2,000 career pro games played. And that's an elite club. There's only 20, 25 players in the world that have got 2,000 pro games. So to think about Ace, he's had such a long career, in and out of the limelight, but right now, on the grand stage, he's just to think, 2,000 games, so many.
That is a lot of pro games. 33 still has a little bit of a ways to go, but both offlaners having a strong mark, Effie, on the way that these two teams operate.
They really do, and 33 is such a niche style of offlaner in that he has a specific hero pool that he hones to perfection. He is so farm intensive, he hits his timing so fast, and typically any team that plays with 33 plays around his timing, his snowball, his calls. And that's why Team Liquid at the start of the year looked a little bit shaky, because when you're adapting to such a niche offlaner, it does take time to get there. But they finally did. We saw them at the last Riyadh Masters. Some of their games, you know, they were a little bit disjointed. You'd see 33 like boots of traveling to a bot lane while the other 4 took a fight on the other side of the map. But as that tournament progressed, they got to the point where they finally connected and they made it to the grand finals there too.
33 is what we call the biggest nerd in Dota in a good way. This guy pretty much experiments with everything. He is the guy who innovates the most. When it comes down to his hero pool, it's not as big, but he also tries to break the game with some extra gold. He's playing the Visage, he's playing this Doom. If you remember a couple of weeks ago, he was testing out this Doom and bought Hand of Midas 5 or 6 times with his facet, so that allows him to get more gold, buy an item, sell an item, go back for an item. This guy always finds something in the game, something that looks game-breaking, and it looks really good. And we're gonna see, you know, the new couple, the lane for life, 2 partners.
Yep. That's awesome. But just on the topic of 33 as well, he is such an asset to a team, not just as a player in terms of his skill level, but in terms of his ideas, what he brings to the table in terms of the draft and the meta. When a new patch comes out, you need players like him on your team that can break the meta, find out what is good fast, and you can see that his ideas have already leaked into the team as well too.
I just hope that gaming coming into this, you know, how one-sided it was in the upper bracket where Liquid put them, you know, game into lower bracket. We've identified 33, he is the timing type player. In 15, 20 minutes, he always hit his stride. He always has a hero that can progress the map or progress a key fight. If they shut him down, we'll finally see Liquid have to play in a different style than pretty much their entire player front. Like, we're yet to see it. So maybe gaming, if they can focus on their safe lane, try and punish 33, that's when, you know, the real games will begin.
Yeah, I think there's one matchup that we haven't highlighted, I feel like, at all maybe in the last 2 weeks that we've been here. And that is the matchup of the 2 coaches, because just over 2 years ago, CY joined Gaming Gladiators, and at that point, Lacoste, nobody knew who he was.
No, he was pretty much not known to the scene, but now we can see why they decided to pick him up, because this guy is way too good. He's bringing so many fresh ideas. And on the other side, you had Blitz, you know, 2019, he's sending out a tweet that Team Liquid, they need a coach. At the time, they were called Alliance. So he's building up a squad. He ends up coaching that squad because the rest of the team wants him to coach it. This guy, too good. And also, Jabs, as an analyst, joins at the end of 2020. Now they have a KP as well. Dota player that has, you know, great achievements throughout his career during the Elite League. They also had Jerex at one time during the coach. So the vibes that I'm getting from Team Liquid is one big, happy family that has pretty much everything in their place. Every single time you see those guys on camera, they're pretty much vibing.
I think both teams just share the same philosophy, right? Like, Dota's about not only competing, but also, you know, being friends out of the game, ensuring that, you know, you're able to, you know, work on your problems. If there is a problem, you know, back in the day it was, if there's a problem, kick them, get a new guy. Nowadays it's like, you know, how can we work it out? Maybe is it a point of pressure that is being applied to you? How can we sort it out? And I feel like when you look at, like, you know, Celery, Tofu, CY, kind of that kind of gang compared to Blitz, like, they are identical copies of themselves, just 2 different jerseys.
Yeah, and on the topic of coaches, it should be noted that CY, the coach of Gaming Gladiators, is also Danish. So this tournament does mean a lot to him. And that's actually how he got to coaching GG. He was friends with Ace for a long time. Ace vouched for him. He was brought to the team, and it clicked. He focused on leading by example. We would often see him in the lobby, you know, telling his players to go to sleep early, to go to the gym, and he, similarly to Blitz, just wants them to all be able to be friends with each other. If there is a difference between these 2 coaches, though, I would say that CY is a lot more stat-oriented, whereas in Liquid there are people assigned to do that. CY also kind of takes the brunt of the research and the analysis.
Yeah, leading by example and growing as a team. I think for both of these squads, that has been the theme over the last years, I should say. This is the last years. That's why we see these 10 players maybe 12 if you want to call it, or if you want to count all of Team Liquid's entourage as well. It is two big families on that stage up against each other in a best-of-5 grand finals. We also have to mention that we have the chance for one of these 12. One of these 12 has a chance to be a repeat champion in 33 TGov.
Yeah, and that's the experience where I think he's going to have to maybe even lead some of the team talks, depending on how Game 1 goes. Like when they go backstage after Game 1, you're going to lean on 33. Okay, how do we deal with this? How do we react to the pressure of the grand finals? Because for these players to not lift an Aegis already, like then no one's going to know what this feeling feels like. There's not many players or teams that get to this stage, so I think Liquid might have the slight advantage there. Also, a little bit of a crowd advantage. All these camera shots that we keep showing. I'm seeing a lot of Liquid, banners, but yeah, TI appearances. They have been on their pursuit for the Aegis for multiple years. Interestingly, though, of course, Tofi, Celery, and Doraccio only ever played with gaming. Hence, again, the camaraderie sticking together. It helps so much.
And to think about that, Quinn, he attended 6 TIs. This guy almost quit, and we would not witness his greatness, because before joining Gaming Gladiators, he was, talking in an interview about it, that, because the results were not there, so he needed something as some kind of a buff, and that's where the rest of the Gaming Gladiators kicked in.
Yeah, I mean, Quinn had such a long journey in his competitive career where he was so perseverant. He tried and he tried and he tried for those TIs, right? All the way, you go all the way back to FDL, Team Freedom, Quincy Crew, finally Sonics. It felt like as much effort and as much grinding as he was doing, it didn't amount to anything. And he was ready to retire up until he got that offer from Gaming Gladiators. And imagine if that hadn't happened. Everything would have been so different last year. The whole competitive scene would have been different. So Quinn really should be commended on his perseverance within the scene.
100%, 100%. And we should also highlight two people that we don't really talk too much about, because let's be fair, Nisha and Quinn, they take a lot of the spotlight, that happens with the mid lane. There is one person that for Gaming Gladiators, when they're winning, it's Quinn doing great. When they're losing, Doraccio is the scapegoat every single time, T.
Yeah, but that's because Doraccio, he likes to be aggressive. He likes to go for the twin gate. He wants to be finding opportunities, taking the fight. And when we look at the overall structure of the team, Ace is a little bit more of a focal point for late game scaling. And Doraccio, he has to open up the game somehow sometimes. And so it can hurt them a lot, or it can get them to the grand finals of TI.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a perfect meta for that kind of carry style. First of all, the carry hero pool in these Wind Rangers and these Miranas and these Lunas and these Blink Dagger first DKs, this carry pool is made for hyper-aggressive early game players and not for the typical late game carry. And throughout this TI, we've seen that the teams who are unwilling to sacrifice their carries did not make it very far. Teams like BB Team, teams like XG, teams that refused to put their carry in a situation where they would die in the early game and they needed to enable them to have a perfect game, they just couldn't cut it. We've seen from Falcons, from Liquid, from GG, you have to be willing to throw your carry in a bad position early game if it's for the good of the team.
My only hope for that in this series, that we don't see Doraccio kind of move into the Clinkses and the motive that we've seen him trying to pick up in earlier stages of the tournament. I want to see him on the Alchemist, the Razor, Lone Druid, DK, the heroes that can throw himself into the fight and have that turnaround potential. When he's on these types of heroes, it is a scary game for gaming every single time.
And some of the top 3 safe lane combos that we've seen throughout the tournament, Mirana, Treant Protector, win rate is not there. I don't think we're going to be seeing Mirana played from a carry role anymore. The hero shines from position 4. The big one for me is Luna and Tusk. These are the heroes that kind of are dominating, especially Tusk being the first pick material, having overall pretty much every spell in the game that you need. You have double save, you have roach taking potential, you have extra damage, you also have BKB piercing abilities, block, whatever you need, you have it in Tusk.
You really do?
If we could walk down memory lane a bit, so we should touch upon the history of these two teams in a grand finals, because something happens to Team Liquid. Something happens to Team Liquid when they play that best of 5, because their history against Gaimin in best of 3s is actually really good. They've beat them multiple times in regular series, but once they get to these 5-game series, it feels like something goes wrong, Shiver.
Something goes wrong, but that is when they come from the lower bracket. Potentially, this time will be different. As we mentioned earlier, this is a fresh series, a fresh best of 5, and how it will play out, nobody knows. But it is time to get started with our grand finals.
Team Liquid versus Gaming Gladiators Grand Finals. Game 1.
It has begun game 1 of our best of 5 here in Royal Arena in Copenhagen, Denmark. And for that first game, we got Team Liquid coming from the upper bracket to the dire side with first pick. They already got their hands on Nature's Prophet. Gaming Gladiators will play this first game. From the Radiant side, they will also get that strategic overall last pick. And Lacoste, I think we are seeing an opening here from both teams that is basically throwing out the playbook.
Pretty much. Team Liquid, they did not lose with Nature's Prophet yet. They played 2 games on 2 different roles, won both of them, and now we're seeing Underlord, something that worked out amazingly in their previous series that they played. They did open up earlier today, literally 2 hours ago when they played against Tundra. We kind of expected this hero to come out when Gaming is going to be pushed against the wall, when they're going to be backs against the wall. So Underlord back in action. We saw what they can do in game 3, going for that Hail Mary play behind the enemy throne and kill it.
Also, Nature's Prophet is a hero that is typically counterpicked, or was typically counterpicked throughout the last few months by Dragon Knight. Often teams have reacted to NP with this hero, but yesterday Team Liquid put Gaming Gladiators in a position where they picked Dragon Knight twice and lost twice. So they're kind of just throwing them the gauntlet here. I dare you to pick Dragon Knight. I dare you to counterpick our Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, and the thing here with Nature's Prophet, I like how Gaming have already made a statement. Nature's Prophet cannot play Dota if in the first 15 minutes you don't take towers. You can fall off and your entire game is built on momentum. So you pick an Underlord in the off lane, Quinn gets an anti-Prophet hero from the mid, and have a really strong safe lane. Now this Nature's Prophet will be a little bit lost in the early moves, looking on other heroes for Liquid to step up and fill that void. But luckily for Liquid, they're so aggressive that the weaknesses of a bad counter pick for the Natures, it will be fixed by other heroes, but something to consider.
Yeah, and betting out Enchantress, this hero, we said it a lot of times, but I would say position 5 as well of the tournament, besides Tusk, when it comes down to damage dealing. Win rate, I would say it doesn't do her justice. This hero has been pretty much a turret with the pure damage, and also because you're playing off the Greater Treant, she can easily steal that, use it against you, so very good ban from Liquid.
And as we have the Grand Finals mini-meta already clear in Game 1, Gaming having to ban the Rubik in the second phase because of the Underlord. You give a Rubik to Liquid, that's a free Pit of Mana's, free Firestorm, he just becomes the better version of Underlord, but you'd never see that ban really if the Underlord wasn't picked.
Tusk is still available. This is the hero that kind of struggles against root mechanics, against leashes, but we've seen in the previous series what he can do, even though playing in a bad matchup. This is just overall one of the best heroes that gives you everything, so I want to see this hero being contested in the second pick phase.
Mirana and Omni Knight are also available heroes that haven't gone ignored that much this TI. Mirana is a really great hero that you can build your draft around. Both teams have a good track record playing it, and it amplifies a lot of damage coming up from ranged cores like Furion. I would imagine picking Chen as well kind of increases that hero's value because of the arrow as a counter to his creeps. There is still the Tusk too, which is, again, hard to ignore. They've been playing it mostly on Boxy, where other teams have been running it on position 5 instead.
Chen is, in the hands of Celery, one of the best heroes that he can play. You got the Divine Favor for the armor as well in the games and the fights. Like those so many clutch moments. It's the aura from the Chen that he buys, the aura he provides from his spells, the bonus healing. With then any jungle creep he wants to try and influence. It's so hard to deal with. Auras from Underlord, auras from Chen.
And it's all about the speed. If you have Underlord plus Chen, that also means that you will have 2 heroes who are going to be buying into auras. So you will hit an earlier timing, but I like this. This is Team Liquid's bread and butter. Tusk that we did mention, plus the Visage, super strong lane. You get that extra gold whenever you get the kill with Visage, up to 210 gold with the Facet. Super speedy draft.
It also gives you an overwhelming amount of tower pressure, because now you're looking at Visage plus the auras with his familiars at level 6. You're looking at the Nature's Prophet TP in with the Greater Treant, and I would imagine that Liquid want a hero that can go through the Twin Gate early, get that bottom lane tower with 33's Visage, kick the enemy carry out, and make Gamon's map smaller. This is where Chen does come into play a little bit, because Chen is also considered a counterpick to Furion, because he can enchant his greater treant and take that away.
I mean, again, with Chen, the jungle. If you get the Frost Mage, get the Ice Armor from the jungle creep, you're throwing even more armor into a Tusk and a Nature's Prophet that like to utilize the right-click damage, but still, CK, strong lane. They're fitting the formula that I mentioned, right? Strong safe lane to try and apply punishment, off lane that doesn't care about profit. They're taking the fight to Liquid in that laning stage.
CK was also one of GG's favorite pairings with Chen at the last tournament, the Riyadh Masters, where they would just throw in CK's body with all of Chen's healing and auras and try to out-pressure the enemies. This hero did fall out of they're so cute. This hero did fall out of meta though because of the meta shifting to the semi-carry range players, but I think within this draft still does a great job.
Yeah, and they've not played CK so far at the International, but again, we know that they play it throughout the year, so it shouldn't be a shock to Liquid.
I want to see which facet he's going to go for. Phantasmagoria, it does give you damage reduction on CK illusions, but Irrationality, that's the one that has been buffed. You can apply Break, Disarm, or Silence for a 50% of the base debuff duration. So it could be really nice against Visage.
This Batrider also very nice against Visage, and especially in that early game. You want to kill Visage where he's most susceptible, which is the laning stage. If he has heroes that can go on him, that can reposition him, then that's where you can threaten him the most before he gets his familiars up early, before he starts taking your towers early. So I would hope that this Batrider is being played on Tofu, that he's going to go through the gates and try to get 1 or 2 kills at least on Visage.
Now you see the mid lane, the undefeated Puck from Nisha coming in to punish the lack of lockdown. The Batrider and the Chen, if this is your support duo, it's really difficult for them to ever kill off the Puck. Same thing, like Underlord with a Root, it's nice, but it's not enough. You always need that +1.
Remove Monkey on side of Liquid. This hero is still a bit... Oh, never mind. He's banned. He's banned. This is one of the worst matchups for Pucks we've seen. Gaming Gladiators kind of owned the map 7-8 minutes in. Yeah, I think Quinn in one of those games was godlike.
I would like to see Quinn get maybe Earthshaker.
I was about to say.
I want like a little bit of instant stun. Again, DK, it is available, but that was like the old school. The new school is going for Earthshaker. Instant stun, there's going to be, again, not a lot of treants because it's the only single tree, but with the birds, the tree, the grouping, the natural objective pressure Liquid applies, you're going to have opportunities because Underlord will soak the initiation to get good jumps.
The Omni Knight ban would have been such a great hero for Liquid, especially with this Batrider coming out. The need to counter the lasso to make sure your carry Nature's Prophet isn't getting jumped on early on. It gets taken out. Another potential save support that Liquid could run versus the Batrider is Oracle. It is a hero that they enjoy.
This is going to be sustained. These fights, nobody's going to die instantly. So many saves coming out from, you know, just Underlord with his auras, buying Chen with his ulti. Everybody has some kind of a lifesteal as well. I don't see any Shiva's buyer or Scotty buyers yet on side of Liquid.
Interesting, Gaming opt to ban the Clockwork instead of the Treant Protector. I think Liquid, Treant Protector, living armor against the CK, the Overgrowth to kind of secure some additional team fight to ensure your lane goes well for the Nature's Prophet. Could have been pretty cool, but again, Clockwork, a little bit more aggressive for the mid game at least potentially, but yeah, I'm expecting Treant from Liquid here.
Gaming at the moment maybe realizing that Team Liquid can't really commit that hard. They don't really have a strong initiator like Clockwork would be if they got their hands on it. And Liquid ban out the sniper, and they got the double saving support with Shadow Demon. Still last pick for them.
They do. Shadow Demon also functions as an excellent save versus both the Batrider Lasso and the CK Stun. You just disrupt the target he goes on, you just build those stacks up for your Visage in that triangle so that he could hit his timings faster, and it gives you the ability to set up on the map for the Nature's Prophet TP, which is very important. That is what Furion wants to play with, aggressive side lanes, so that he can take advantage of his global presence early on.
The one thing to add, Shadow Demon against CK, against his innate ability, whenever CK creates an illusion, there's a 50% chance, and their chance also applies to Shadow Demon. So if he uses Disruption, he could create more illusions out of CK.
It just helps against the aura as well. When Liquid want to push early on, one cheap aura from the Underlord is now mitigated. When you go on a hero, Shadow Demon can get rid of any of the buffs, so yeah, it helps Liquid secure their first Roshan, get that Aegis, and push forward in 20 minutes. That's what the SD is going to secure. But they had a minute of reserve time for Gaming on this last pick. They now pick up the hero, and they go for a Riki.
Ooh,
finally!
Everybody,
everybody was playing this hero coming into TI, road to TI. Every single mid player had 7+ games on Riki. What makes this hero super strong is now with his facet, you get 4.5 extra agi, so you're kind of one-shotting the creep wave, and also with your shard, you don't allow Shadow Demon nor Tusk to be able to get their saves off.
And not just that, the facet makes it so you're not just one-shotting creep waves, but the jungle, you clear that so fast because Ricky's abilities are low cooldown. But the biggest factor for Ricky here is his silence, his smoke. He's going to use this to try to kill the puck early game with the diffusal plus smoke cloud plus one rotation from his team. Puck should always be dead. Also, when you've got 2 save supports, T, like Tusk and Shadow Demon, you need backline control like Ricky provides.
And you can't target when you're in the smoke screen until you get a shard. And on top of that, you're going to force Nisha to have to think about a 4-staff or a BKB on the puck. That just sounds awful, because every puck player, they want to go for all the damage, the Witch Blades, the Blink, the Kaya, everything other than save. And now he has to think about it. So yeah, Ricky pick, pretty niche. I like it. A lot of cool options, and yeah, nice refreshing draft. Gaming bringing out, what, 2 heroes that we didn't see so far at TI in game 1 of the Grand Finals.
I love it. I am very curious to see how this first game is going to play out. I am also very curious to hear some words from Coach Blitz, who's on the stage.
Thank you very much, Blitz. Welcome to Grand Finals with Team Liquid, where it seems like Gaimin, they still have tricks up their sleeve. Quinn, last pick Ricky mid. What do you think about it?
I mean, he's a rat. He only plays these cheese heroes that require 0 skill. He's afraid of playing Nisha straight up 1v1, so he's going to do some stuff like this all the time. I understand it. It's all good. I'd do the same if I was playing Nisha.
I see. So it's a cowardice strategy, perhaps. And also, I was hoping to get some questions about your fashion choices. I see all the other coaches, they go into their jerseys, they have their specific uniforms, but you come out looking nice. I like it. What's the reasoning?
I think it's important to look your best before you bury somebody.
Well, I guess the funeral dirge shall begin. Game number 1 to our casters. Good luck, Blitz.
Copenhagen, are you ready? Incredible atmosphere, ladies and gentlemen, as we're about to get ready to get stuck into the action of this Grand Finals. Gaming Gladiators versus Liquid. Folks, we've seen this many times before. We know how it tends to go, supposed to go. Could it be different today?
I think we all hope so. I think we're all hoping for 5 games, but the best thing is we're definitely going to get 3 games.
But that's true. That's true. We've already been spoiled with quite some fantastic Dota already earlier in the day today, and let's hope that continues here into this best of 5. So as we heard, exciting talks around the Ricky coming in from Quinn to end the draft from Gaming. Do you think this is something that did go under Liquid's radar?
I mean, we've seen people talking about it. The pubs have been riddled with it. Thompson was playing it a ton, Quinn, and tons of these pubs as well, too. There's just a lot of heroes that you have to think about, and it is Grand Final, so this becomes its own mini-meta. So things are going to come out that you maybe didn't expect fully, but we'll see if it ends up working, because you can tell why they wanted it. Panel talked about it, the anti-saves, the silence versus the puck and stuff like that. So, yeah, let's see what ends up going down and how these matchups end up going. I haven't seen a Ricky versus puck matchup in a long, long time, if not ever.
It's going to be exciting to see what Quinn can pull off, especially as we saw in some of the replays earlier being shown from Nisha this tournament on his puck. He has had some insane showings. Let's see if he's going to be on the way to get some more of those rampages that we know he's able to pull out on this hero. Overall, though, do you have a preference with the style that either of the teams have decided to pull out here in this first game of the best of 5?
Liquid's gone more for just a standard at this tournament, right? I feel like Gaming, they've clearly gone a little bit different. Yes, 3 of the heroes look very, very normal, but the CK and the Ricky are a bit of that oddball out, at least currently in this meta. So we'll see what Duracio in particular wants to do with this, because what I'm looking at with this lane is that they're just trying to sustain versus this damage that comes out from this Visage and this Tusk that can be very, very oppressive. They've got tons of sustain with Divine Favor, they'll be able to mana burn, and of course CK just has built-in sustain from that Chaos Strike.
I mean, how much does that sort of mess with Liquid's game plan if Liquid's duo lane down here isn't necessarily able to find early kills?
I probably messes with it a decent amount because that's the way they've played with 33, just looking for constant kills, but Liquid is not afraid to break 33 out of this lane. I've seen him roaming at like the 6-minute mark as this Visage, and it ends up working out a lot of times, so it's all going to come down if they can get those type of trade kills or not. It feels like it could be difficult for them to pressure this lane down bottom, but they are taking care of that Satyr, so that's the second time now Celery has put the Satyr, the one that burns the mana, the Mind Steal, I believe it's called, and it killed it twice, so that's actually huge because it reduces that mana. Also, it gives that extra mana to Duracio too, so it's good that they're able to clear that one out to at least try to apply some pressure onto this CK.
Yeah,
Mid lane,
I was going to say Quinn
is giving it to Nisha
He
right
certainly
now.
is getting a fair few denies in, of course, already in this Ricky versus Puck matchup. Now in with the trick of the trade. He's going to find the first blood. Well, I said, I don't know if Liquid expected this Ricky to come out, and I don't know if Nisha was prepared to play this matchup, or at least expected something like that to come out from him. Quinn just jumps in and kills him off first.
After already decimating in the laning phase too, the first 2-3 waves, 10 and 4 on this Ricky. You heard it from Blitz. Quinn likes to play these little bit of cheesy heroes in a way, but this one, at least in the first few waves, it's gonna be great. And you can see, we talked about the reasons why they want it later on. So if he's off to a good start, can be a very dangerous hero.
Absolutely, he's going to be just such a nuisance for every single one of Liquid's heroes if Quinn does start to ball out of control.
Honestly, all of them, a lot of them do really suffer
What do you do?
Ricky. Yeah,
What do you do? There's Ricky sneaking around, jumping on top of you, slamming down a smoke screen and killing you off with this incredible amount of damage with the tricks of trade. Quinn gets his first item at a quick timing. Liquid, they've got some serious problems they're going to have to start answering.
Absolutely, but they do have strong lane up top in particular. Mid-game, they do have great ways to rotate around the map and pressure everywhere too, so should be able to react. It's just, if he's able to sneak into these back lines, it's going to disrupt a lot of these potential saves that come out either from Boxy and from Insania.
Now looking at the top lane so far, Mid-Case farm, perfectly fine. Obviously, Gaming Gladiators getting the Ace Underlord in. We saw how incredible Ace is on this hero and just how much this hero offers, right? In that crazy game we had earlier, this can absolutely be the hero that it's that crucial part to just get you the win, get on top of the Ancient, end the game. There's so much you can do with it, and Ace, he knows how to do everything with it.
Yeah, it matches mobility as well too, which is really, really nice versus something like Nature's Prophet when the game starts getting to these type of moves that are happening all over the map. So yeah, it's definitely, obviously their bread and butter, and they've moved up that priority so much, just first picking it now.
And they're not afraid to do so whatsoever. On the other side of the map, Dracho still continuing to have very little pressure applied to him because of the nature of the setup that Gaming Gladiators went with this duo lane is definitely playing out, as you'd imagine, just